In the early 4th century, the Roman Empire was tearing itself apart. The administrative system designed to stabilize the vast territory, Diocletian's tetrarchy, had completely collapsed, plunging the Roman world into a brutal series of civil wars. For 3 centuries, early Christians navigated this hostile environment as an outlawed, heavily persecuted minority. To survive, they were forced into the shadows, worshipping in secret and burying their dead in underground catacombs. That dynamic shifted in 312, when a young general named Constantine marched his army toward Rome to confront his rival at the Milvian Bridge. According to ancient Christian chroniclers like Eusebius, Constantine looked to the sky before the battle and saw a cross of light, accompanied by a command in Greek, "In this sign, conquer." Constantine crushed Maxentius's forces and credited his victory to the Christian god. Oddly, the massive triumphal arch he built to celebrate the win displays traditional pagan sacrifices, without a single overtly Christian symbol to be found. Still, the victory at the Milvian Bridge took a religion defined by pacifism and martyrdom and suddenly aligned it with imperial warfare and political legitimacy. The following year, Constantine and his co-emperor issued the Edict of Milan. This sweeping decree legalized Christianity and ordered the immediate restitution of all confiscated church property. The edict established broad religious toleration, guaranteeing freedom of worship for all faiths across the empire. But the emperor clearly played favorites. He poured government funds into the Christian community, donating vast tracts of land and financing the construction of massive public basilicas. As imperial wealth flew into church coffers, the persecuted Church of the Martyrs took on a new role as a state-funded institution, creating a deep friction between its humble origins and its new imperial wealth. This transition, the Constantinian shift, saw the emperor systematically weaving the Christian church into the administrative machinery of the Roman state. Looking at this diagram, we can see exactly how judicial authority was rerouted. Constantine established the Episcopalis Audientia, or episcopal courts. This allowed citizens to bypass traditional pagan courts entirely and transfer their civil disputes to the local bishop, whose rulings were legally binding. The state also shielded this new judicial class. The emperor exempted Christian clergy from burdensome municipal taxes and compulsory public services. To fund these new church initiatives, he eventually began confiscating wealth from traditional pagan temples. He even altered the Roman calendar itself. In 321 CE, Constantine issued a decree establishing Sunday as a universal day of rest for all cities and courts. Through these precise logistical steps, the priesthood became a protected economic elite, and the local bishop effectively became a powerful secular administrator. Yet the man engineering this integration lived a life full of contradictions. The emperor who championed the divinity of Christ remained completely unbaptized for nearly his entire reign, receiving the rite only days before his death. Despite his massive financial support for Christianity, he held on to traditional pagan titles, including Pontifex Maximus, ensuring he retained supreme religious authority over all Roman cults. To keep the peace among a population that was still overwhelmingly polytheist, he continued to mint coins like this one, featuring his own profile sitting side by side with the sun god, Sol Invictus. However, later in his rule, his policies sharpened. He banned animal sacrifices and ordered the destruction of prominent pagan healing sanctuaries like the Temple of Asclepius, directly targeting sites that competed with Christian miracles. Constantine operated as a savvy pragmatist. He balanced his own theological convictions with the brutal necessity of holding a massive, diverse empire together. That imperial stability was soon threatened from within. Theological disputes, most notably Arianism, a fierce debate over the exact nature of Jesus, began fracturing the newly empowered Christian community. To prevent a religious schism from escalating into civil war, Constantine summoned the Council of Nicaea in 325 CE. Though not formally a member of the church himself, the emperor presided over hundreds of bishops to hammer out a single unified creed. This map illustrates the result of that intervention. A decentralized network of independent regional beliefs was compressed into a rigid, unified hierarchy, strictly enforced by the weight of Roman law. By combining creed, sword, and empire in one room, Constantine established a clear precedent. The sovereign ruler now acted as the ultimate judge of religious orthodoxy. This was the ultimate bargain. The Church secured immense legal protection, wealth, and global influence, but it traded away its historical autonomy and its pacifist outsider ethos. This patronage tied the long-term survival of the Church to the stability of the throne, making religious authority a central pillar of imperial control. The decisions made in the 4th century forged the complex, often volatile relationship between church and state, a dynamic that continues to drive global politics today.